Hey everybody, guess what? It's movie review time! Today's movie, it's on my shirt. I'm going to review Halloween, 1978. So this movie takes place as far as a little kid, happens on Halloween, finds out and the sister had sex, guy leaves, and then he murders her. So he was 8 years old, and then so several years later, his doctor doesn't want to let him out because he's in some sort of a psychiatric ward, so he didn't want to let him out because he says that, he's clearly and simply evil. So what happens later on, he escapes, and then we meet some girl. Her name is Laurie Strode. Her dad is a home realtor. So what happens is that they go and try to sell the house, according to a little boy named Tommy Wallace. She's gonna go and babysit him on Halloween while the parents go out and party it up or do whatever that they want to do. And then so this guy who's dressed in some coveralls and a mask, he goes and decides to stalk her. So later on, she's going to meeting up a couple of friends. Their names is Linda and Annie. So Annie has her dad is the sheriff. That takes place in Haddonfield, Illinois. She also babysits, but she's going to go and babysit a girl named Lindsay Doyle. So what happens is that the killer decides to, who has no name, is just he is or what, decides to go and attack her, or both of them, and follow them to their destination of the babysitters' houses, which is right across the street from each other. And so he goes and follows, and then all of a sudden, the doctor goes and tells the sheriff, says, hey, there's a psycho killer going to your town, you need to believe me. They're in for a bloodbath. They go to the killer's house, and he's not there. So the doctor goes and says, hey, he's been my patient for this so long. He never talked, he never moved. He just looked for this night. And, what I saw was purely and simply evil. So the sheriff is kind of like, yeah, whatever, okay, I'll take your word for it because I don't have anything else better to do, and I'm just going to believe you. So what happens is that the killer starts knocking them off the other babysitter, Annie, and Laurie's friends. Then he goes after Laurie for some odd reason, goes into the house that she's babysitting, tries to go and kill her, and then the doctor automatically comes and tries to save the day. Overall, this movie is 5 pumpkins. As you can tell, I am not saying his name because if this movie review was in 1978, I wouldn't know who in the heck we're talking about. So, in the credits, it's known as The Shape. I'm keeping it that way. We all know who it is now because it's almost 40 years later, and I'm just going to keep it original, saying it's him, it's The Shape, it's the Boogeyman. We'll leave it at that. So, with this movie review, and the reason why I'm yelling is because every time I don't have anything to drink, so I can't keep my voice normal. So basically is that I'm giving it 5 pumpkins out of 5 pumpkins. If you don't have anything to watch, make sure you watch this classic movie because it is it's the grandfather, it's the dad of the rest of the psycho movies like Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Sorority House Massacre, Black Christmas, and all the other ones that came down the line, Happy Death Day, April Fool's Day, so on and so forth. So, coming up to the 5 minutes, that's all I got the time for. And remember, every day is Halloween.